Hi, everybody. It's Michael Angelo Caruso. I am back from an epic 4-week vacation. I can't tell you how happy I am that not only to be home, but to be able to pull it off it's the first time I've been able to do a 4-week vacation, and I want to tell you not only some of the highlights of it, but also how you can arrange for longer vacations yourself. You know, I think rest is extremely important. All bodybuilders and weightlifters know that the real rebuilding comes from rest. It comes after the reps are finished, right? And then the muscles can rebuild. So you tear the muscles a little bit and then they rebuild. And it's the same thing with breaks and vacations. You have to have a lot of breaks and vacations in order to be productive and not burn yourself out. So I'm a big believer in it. I can't believe it's taken me so long to figure out how to do a 4-week vacation, and now I'm going to teach other people how to do it. So we're starting by teaching my students on the Present Like a Pro Facebook page. So you can go to the Present Like a Pro group and sign up for that and get the tips. And of course, the online course, the students are getting a deep dive into this because I'm teaching them sustainability in the speaking business, #SpeakerLife. This 4-week trip took us to Greenville, South Carolina. By us, I mean Renee Pothidis and me. And we went down to Greenville, Carolina for a period of time. Then we went to Tampa. And then we went even further south to St. Petersburg or Fort Myers area. Then we went all the way down to Naples. And so it was funny, as we got in the car, we were going further and further and further south in Michigan. We left during very, very cold weather in Michigan, and we ended up taking off clothing as we got further south, finally arriving in Naples. And then on the way back, of course, we had to add layers of clothing to get back home. So it was fun in that way. I have 4 techniques for you so that you can arrange for long vacations, your own epic vacations. And before we do, I want to tell you that we saw some great things on this trip. We ate at some fantastic restaurants. We ate at some expensive places, but perhaps my most favorite restaurant on the trip was a place called Havana Cafe. It's down in the Naples area, and it is low tech. I mean, you can't get a Wi-Fi signal there to save your life. I wanted to check in. I had to wait till after we left in order to check in. It's very chic. Not chic, but what's the word I'm looking for? Eccentric kind of decor. It was like being in a tropical rainforest with palm trees everywhere, right? They had all these weird artifacts around while we're eating. Everybody that worked there was weird. I loved it. And we had a Cuban sandwich or some facsimile of it. It was fabulous. So that was a favorite place we ate. We went to a couple of cool museums. We went to the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Petersburg. It's hurricane proof. It's got amazing things in there. Most people know that Dali was a very eccentric artist, and you know him for his melting clocks and all that sort of thing. But if you actually stood back and looked at a Salvador Dali mural, even the people who weren't into art were just standing there for the longest time, you know, checking this thing out. Because up here is, you know, an image of his wife, and down here is a secret thing that he put in, and all these Easter eggs all over his murals. And they were fascinating. I could have spent the rest of the day there. We just did a short tour. We also went to a very low-tech museum down in the Naples area. It was built above the ground to, again, protect from hurricanes and water, because it was right on the water. And this place had artifacts from going back 100 years, a couple of the key pioneers that actually built up the region, one of whom, allegedly, was a murderer. His thing was, he was a farmer, and his thing was he would hire migrant workers to work on his farm, but just until payday, when he killed them, and then buried them on his property. And apparently this went on for a period of time until the townspeople got fed up with it, got wise to him, woke him up one day, and then hung him, strung him up. This is in the wild days of South Florida. And there were newspaper articles about it, books written about it, and we went to that museum as well. So it was a blast. We did boating down in that 10,000 island area down in the Naples area. It's funny, I'm up in Michigan right now living, and we're not too far from Minnesota, where it's the land of 10,000 lakes, and in Tampa, in Naples, it's the land of 10,000 islands. Pretty cool. We did a lot of homestays on this trip. We did some talks. I am fond of long vacations, but I can't sit in a Chase lounge. I'm not one of those guys. And so I like it when on vacation I work on a blog post, or I work a little bit on my book, or maybe I even get dressed up and go do a few talks, which I did on this trip. I did 5 talks, and because I don't mind mixing business with pleasure, I spoke to some very large groups, and I brought home probably 500 business cards. Those business cards where people are interested in my message. They're going to go into my database, and then I'm going to tell them the next time I come back to Florida. You see how this can create longer and longer and more frequent vacations if you do it right. So I'm going to share 4 tips that helped us get this going in for a 4-week vacation. And of course, you can do the same things if you care to. You can copy this formula and then arrange for your own 4-week vacation. So the first thing is that you have to develop a revenue stream so that you don't miss the revenue. If you're going to be gone for 1/12 of the year, you're probably not willing to sacrifice 1/12 of your income. So how cool is it when revenue's coming in? Now, in my case, I have an online assortment of books and videos and DVDs and stuff like that you can buy. So that's an ongoing thing. I also have an online Present Like a Pro course. That's a pretty big ticket. And if you signed up for my program while I was in January, while I was gone out of town in January, my bank account sees your money coming in, and now I'm making money while I'm on vacation. And we don't start your program until I get back to town, but you understand how this works. And Renee did the same thing. You know, she's got a page called Eat, Evolve, and Inspire, and she signed up a new client 2 days ago. The client happens to be in Great Britain. And same thing. She says, I'm really interested in your coaching, your wellness coaching, Renee. How can I get involved? And Renee said, well, just give me your credit card number and we'll start you as soon as I get back to Michigan. And that's what she did. And you can do this yourself. You can arrange for your own brand to take in revenue while you're on vacation. It takes a little bit of effort and focus, but I'll teach you how to do it. I don't mind. So the first thing is you have to have a revenue stream. Second thing is you have to eliminate the boss from the equation. Because if you have a boss, even if you have an arrangement with your boss, let's say you're a top producer and your boss would love to help you go on a month-long vacation because it's important to you and your family, your boss will tell you no, because there are other people at your company that do what you do, and the boss can't have everybody leaving for a month at a time. Because it's easier for the boss to say no than to say yes, the boss will say no, and now you can't go on vacation for a month. I eliminated the boss from my equation over 20 years ago. I've been self-employed for over 2 decades, and now I have to tell myself no or yes to a month-long vacation. I said yes this time. The third tip is to tap your network. So I'm not only letting people know that I'm on vacation, that I'm coming to Florida, I'm talking about my business network, but I'm also letting hoteliers who have the ability to discount hotel rooms or comp hotel rooms. And yes, we did take advantage of that this time down. Of course, I always reciprocate, and I always reciprocate more than 100%, which means I give back a lot more than what I'm given on these exchanges. So maybe I did a stand-up meeting. I'll do a stand-up meeting for a hotel, help their employees with things. And then finally, I offer my talent when I go down south. I'm available to people. I meet with people for lunch and coffee. I don't mind at all, even though I'm on vacation. So the 4 tips for arranging your own epic 4-week vacation. Number 1, make sure you have an established revenue stream. Number 2, you have to eliminate the boss. Number 3, you want to tap your own network to make sure that you are having, that you're notifying people that you're coming to town and so on. And then finally, you're offering your talent to people when you're down in the area. If you want to know when I'm coming to your town and maybe want to attend one of our retreats, upcoming retreats, go to michaelangelocaruso.com and sign up for the monthly mashup. Also, check out my Present Like a Pro Facebook page. It's free on Facebook. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you soon.